if I could say one thing about those days, it was us against the world. It was like, I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was such a beautiful time for our band because we were out to conquer and we put the time in and we really did want people to hear our music.
All right, guys, Booker and Stryker, Tony Kanal of No Doubt has joined us. How are you, man?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
We are so excited you are here with us. 18 shows at the Sphere coming up, No Doubt, 2026.
Here we go.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good about it. It's exciting. We don't play that often. So when we do play, for us, it's a big deal. You know, I was thinking it was like 9 years in between our last shows in Coachella. And that was such a joyous celebration. And here we are now. It's going to be, wow, that'll be 2 years since then by the time we hit the stage.
Yes.
So yeah, we don't play that often. So for us, it's so exciting to get back on stage together.
And there's a crazy new cog in the wheel with it being the Sphere, the whole audio and video and thing of the Sphere. Who's going to commandeer that sort of part of it? Because if we're talking music of No Doubt, that's always been you. You're the mad scientist. Who will be the front person that says, I want to do this wacky thing with this screen? Who will be that?
First of all, you're absolutely right. Like, playing the Sphere is a completely different thing. And that's why we decided to do it. Because after being a band for almost 40 years now, it's like, okay, what can we do that's different and it's a new experience? So this is a brand new experience for us. So this creative stuff has been already going on. Even though shows are like 6 months away, the creative conversations, the creative meetings have already been going on. And they have to, because to put something that big together and then render it in high res takes so much time. So there's decisions that are being made kind of out of order. Like, you have to decide the set list now and the order of the set list now, because you're creating a show. As you know, it's not just a band getting on stage and playing. It's a band getting on stage and playing in this massive, incredible, futuristic environment that changes the way people experience the show.
Who's nerding out the most, do you think?
It's all of us. And we have this great creative guy named Baz Halpin, who's done previous tours for us, who did the U2 show at the Sphere. He's done the Eagles show at the Sphere, the Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. So we're in really good hands with him and his team, Corey and JT. These guys are amazing. And they're just, these meetings are awesome because we have ideas, they have ideas, and you're like, they're like, oh, we can do that. You can do stuff like this. You're like, you can? Like, you can, yeah.
Are the songs that you guys play at the Sphere going to go in chronological order, like the beginning of No Doubt to some of the last songs you recorded as a band?
You know, that was one conversation, but after getting into this creative thing, I think it's more going to be about moods and acts almost. Like, it's a different way of approaching a show. And that's exciting too, because it's like when we were putting the set list together, like, really? Like, we're gonna come out that hard and go that big that quick? And then, but yeah, it does make sense. Like, it's cool. Normally, like, you kind of like do this kind of thing, and then everybody gets, you know, you don't want to put too many hardcore songs in a row for Gwen's voice, and all these different factors that you think about, right? And this is going to be a little bit different. This is going to be a different way of putting a show together.
Was there a conversation? I'm sure there was. Did somebody initially say, hey, we should do Tragic Kingdom, the entire album, in order, because that's what U2 did? I thought maybe they would suggest
Booker,
that.
I said that.
You did.
Yeah, and that's not what we're going to do.
Good.
But we are playing a heavy dose of Tragic Kingdom material.
Okay.
Yeah, we're celebrating the whole catalog, the whole entire, band's almost 40 years.
Was the Tragic Kingdom album, looking back, tough to make, or was it easy to make?
It was really tough to make, but at the same time, we were having a great creative experience journey at that time. But it was challenging because we were up against a record company that didn't know what to do with us. And so we were making that record like in bits and bobs, like spurts of like, okay, here's a little bit of the budget. You can go do this. You can go do that. Because they didn't know what to do with us. So what it did do is pushed us to write more and more and more. Unfortunately, during the making of Tragic Kingdom, we lost Eric, who was the founder of the band, Eric Stefani, and the main songwriter at that time. And so we found ourselves in the situation where it's like, okay, what the hell are we going to do? And it forced us all to step up and deliver. And so it was challenging, But if we hadn't gone through that process, we wouldn't have gotten Tragic Kingdom. You know,
Right.
like
Right.
if you know, we were going through a breakup, Gwen and I, like it was a very challenging time for the band, but we did get through it. And then we went on the road for 28 months and had to talk about the same shit every day, 40 to 50 times a day in every country around the world. It was, it made us much stronger, I would say.
Yeah. Do you look back on that album and that time fondly, or is it a sore spot? You tired of talking about it?
No, very, very fondly. It was us against the world. We had already been a band for 9-10 years before Tragic Kingdom kind of hit the radio. So it was time. And it was this rocket ship that took off and never landed. And we got to be on it together.
Did you feel at the time,
Yeah.
did you feel knowing, I mean, almost a decade together, you knew you had it and you knew you understood all of it. Were you ever like sitting on the sideline going, this has got to be our time soon? Like this
Yes.
has got to happen.
Yes. You see all your friends' bands like getting on the radio and stuff and people you knew and you're like, okay, you know, and at the time radio was like the big thing. It was like, you know, getting a record deal was a big thing and getting on the radio was a big thing because that's how people discovered new music.
Right.
And so, yes, there was a lot of that. And then we were very lucky and it happened. And yeah, man, rocket ship.
And the celebrations ensued.
Right.
Yes,
Exactly.
I remember one night I was hosted, I did in the morning, I was doing 120 minutes on MTV. And these guys, I think maybe it was the night after you guys had went #1. And everybody came in hungover. I mean, maybe still drunk. And it was the most fun I'd ever.
I think I know exactly the day you're talking about because I feel like our manager, Jim, was like, we're cutting this. Like, this is bad.
It was bad.
It was
because
bad.
Adrian came in and his eyes were bloodshot and he was still like wrecked.
Reeking of it.
He reeked of fun. But I was
Sounds
like,
valid,
let's just
yes.
keep going. It's 120 minutes. Who cares?
We
It was a ton of fun.
When we were on that rocket ship and continuing into Return of Saturn and the Rocksteady album, like those tours, like the after parties were a big part of, like, you know, like especially on the Rocksteady tour, like we would play Jamaican music and Tom and I would spin, and it was like part of the whole thing. We were having a party all the time. It was really, really great.
Was it one phone call or 5,000 meetings that led to Just a Girl being the first single? Was it a no-brainer before anyone even really knew that was going to be the single?
Oh, that's a good question. It's hard to remember like exactly the course of events, but you know, I'm sure somebody. Oh, so like, okay, so we're signed to Interscope, and then Trauma Records got involved,
Right.
and they had probably had a big hand in deciding what that first single was going to be, and they're like, we think we can make this happen at radio, and they weren't wrong.
Right.
Yeah. And for you guys, you know, Southern California, knowing this in this area, you know, at the time when No Doubt broke, I worked in Pittsburgh. Okay.
Right.
So to me, this was a whole new to the rest of the country. This was a whole new sound. And I just remember it being so exciting because it was so different.
Yeah.
And kind of reflecting. Just when you think of that, did you guys know, God, we're so different than everything else that's out in America?
I mean, look, when our first record came out in 1992, grunge was massive, and there was no place for No Doubt at that time, at least on the radio. But we were building this fan base in Southern California and then eventually Northern California and some of the closer states that we could actually take our own cars to. You know, we'd caravan out there to play shows and build this fan base. But I think we're just a product of all the things that inspired us, right? So for us, we were just making music that made sense to us.
Yeah.
And it was a amalgamation of all these things that inspired us, all the ska stuff and the new wave stuff and everything just coming in, and the rock stuff, and it was just what we became and who we were. Yeah.
In 1994, maybe it was 95, No Doubt was one of my first radio interviews ever in Tucson, Arizona.
That's right.
I was on an AM alternative rock station, and every band member came by, and you played 2 songs live.
Okay.
And I played I think maybe 6 No Doubt songs. It was 2 hours. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't play the commercials I was supposed to play.
Right.
It was like all of a sudden this commercial radio station I was on was like PBS was just like rolling through.
By the way, our yesterday show sounded like that too. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
we haven't really grown much.
Do you
since
happen
then.
to you have a really good memory?
haven't.
Nick? Exactly, that's true. Do you remember that stuff at all?
I do.
Like,
I do.
Going to
I don't
all
remember.
these-
The one thing I remember about going to these radio stations is that you would always get free promo CDs. And that for us was like the
Right.
biggest deal because like CDs were $15 and like you couldn't go buy CDs all the time. So you'd roll into radio stations and like they'd open the closet.
The prize closet.
What do you
Yes,
guys
these
want?
And it was like
we're like,
gold.
what?
And he's right. Bands always did that. They couldn't wait to get to that prize.
Right.
Yeah,
filled with
every
stuff.
band would be like, what can we have? It's like,
Yeah.
take everything. Take one of everything.
each. Yeah.
Walk
And so
out with
everyone's walking
stacks.
out with stacks of stuff and you would have it in like in the van and you'd have your own collection that you've like built up and you get home and you've got like, I got 100 new CDs somehow. Like, that's what I remember about those. But of course, like all that stuff was so exciting. The fact that people wanted to talk to us and listen to our music and talk about our story. We were so grateful and fortunate and never took any of that stuff for granted and tried to do everything. Anytime there was a request for an interview, tried to do everything we could to be there and do that stuff. You know, there was times when when Tragic Kingdom blew up and we were traveling around the world. It's like 28-month tour and you're jet lagged and you're tired and, you know, you haven't slept and you've got 6 hours of press before you play tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go in and you're talking about making the record and talking about the relationship breaking up and like for Gwen and I, like it's the Band-Aid getting ripped off on every interview. You're like trying to heal this thing and for poor Tom and Adrian having to hear the same freaking story over and over. But
Yeah.
it made us stronger and if I could say one thing about those days, it was us against the world. It was like I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was such a beautiful time for our band because we were out to conquer and we put the time in and we really did want people to hear our music.
How hard was the road? And I was talking to Gwen was here the other day talking about the Sphere, and we were talking about the first time I'd met you guys. It was at a record store, and she was sick. She had some sort of reaction to something, and my producer had to take her to the emergency room.
Right.
The road is hard. Do you kind of miss those days a little bit, though, or
do.
not? Do you look back and go, thank God we've
No,
done,
no.
we checked that box?
Look, I don't think we could tour the same way we used to
No,
tour
you're
like
the
when we were
band.
younger, but we're so young and it's like you had that youthful exuberance and excitement and you didn't know where the road was literally going to take you. And there was no phones and there was no GPS and you were mapping it and you were just like, it's such an adventure. And you get to these clubs and you unload and throw the stuff in the club. And then, you know, like I'm going to go park the van and hopefully it won't get broken into with the stuff that's still in there. And then we load out and who's driving tonight? And so we'd get these vans with benches and there was a lot of us and one person, so somebody would be the designated driver, right? And there'd be a person who's going to trade off if it's a long drive. And then everybody else would go to sleep. And that would be your night of sleeping in the van. And one person would get the bench and the other person would get the floor in between the benches.
Wow.
And Adrian would accumulate beer from like different, like grab them from clubs, you know, because you'd get, your rider was like, you know, a 6-pack of beer or whatever. And it was, if you didn't drink them. So there was always like loose cans of beer rolling around on the floor of the van. And it was just, dude, it was the best. It was such an adventure. We're so lucky we got to experience that.
Since the second weekend of the Coachella you guys played, that's like a year and 7 months ago now or something.
Yeah.
Have you played any songs together in private? Any No Doubt songs?
The only thing we did is that Fire Aid benefit.
Oh,
in
right, the Fire
January,
Aid, right.
which was
Right.
2 or 3 songs and a quick rehearsal for that. So no, we have not. So Tom, Adrian, and I got together this week. What's today? Or maybe it was last week. I can't remember. And we started hitting some songs. And it was like, okay, the first rehearsals are always bad, but it's only going to get better from there. But we're starting super early, so we can be totally ready for all these amazing shows.
What's the first song that you guys, Tom, and Adrian did when you're like, okay, we're in a room. Let's see what we can do here. What's the first No Doubt song you did?
I don't want to say.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I don't want to say because that would give something away.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have any songs in the bank where you're itching to say, hey, Gwen, hey, guys, let's record this. There's been a lot of time in between. Is there something that you're sitting on that you've...
Not really. Like the
No?
conversations about doing new music are not really part of this time right now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's always conversations, but they haven't come to fruition yet. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, I believe New from No Doubt from the Ghost soundtrack will be included because of our enthusiasm for that song.
Your
My
enthusiasm.
enthusiasm. Hey, I'm willing to bet right now that that's in Tony's top 4 favorite No Doubt songs.
I love playing that song live. I really do. I love it. Yeah. That's a fun one to play.
Since we're on camera, I'm going to say it now. I'm sorry for that one time when you were in the shower listening to me on the radio, and I said, "Excuse me, mister, that's for you, Tony."
It was Happy Now.
Oh, Happiness. Are you?
It was
Sorry,
Happy Now.
sorry,
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Happy Now,
yeah.
right,
Same thing,
you
though.
remember. Yes. Sorry, man.
Same thing.
Poor guy was naked listening to you.
I was in the shower. I believe it was at my old house in Los Feliz. I remember it, and I had a radio in the shower, and it was on, and you came on. You go, okay, take that, Tony.
Yeah.
So sorry.
That's weird.
Oh man, it made our relationship stronger. You and me.
Yeah.
Like, look at us now.
Look at us
Like,
now.
we're still here
I'm still
together.
on the radio. You're doing the sphere. Something's not happening. What the hell?
Stop with me.
There's
It's a
such
good thing.
There's such a history, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of like being able to be a band for almost 40 years. Like, people relate to songs in so many different ways, and we were talking about that when we were having the last creative call. It's like, what does Just a Girl mean to so many people? And people have different interpretations of that song. Like when you talk about One by U2, right? People look at that song. That was never meant to be a wedding song. Like when you hear about them talking about what that song was going to be, it was never meant to be a wedding love song, the first song that people dance to, but it takes on a life of its own. And that's the beauty of being able to be a band for so long and having some songs that people relate to. People have a different relationship with every song, as do we. And that relationship changes over time.
We were lucky enough to be at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony on Saturday.
Yeah.
And both of us were blown away by just how incredible every second of it was. Much better than previous ones, even though we only watch it on TV.
Yeah.
I think No Doubt should be on the ballot at some point, at least giving the voters, and we're voters now, a chance to vote. Has that ever circled through your mind?
That would be amazing and an honor, but I don't really know how that works, like the intricacies of it. So if you can make it happen,
You're
it would
with
be,
the right guy.
it
Yeah,
would be
listen,
much appreciated.
It's the one thing we can help you out with. We know a guy.
No, it's us. We're voting. But no, honestly, I think you guys deserve it based on
They'll be in.
this. Yeah,
I think it's
but
just
I want
a
it to
time
happen when
thing.
Tony is not using a walker in 40 years.
Well,
from
Yeah,
now
it
with
needs to
tennis
happen
balls on
sooner
it.
than later.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, from
Yes.
your mouth to the universe's ears.
Let's
like,
go. Let's
make it
go.
happen,
Let's
yeah.
go.
I keep
All right.
saying we need to open our own BS Hall of Fame and get everybody in that's A,
Right.
still alive, and could, and
B,
let's
should
do
be
this.
in.
It should be in
Yes,
a
the
legit
BS Hall of Fame
Hall
of
of
Booker
Fame.
you.
Stryker.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. And then you can see how many actually get into.
487 bands on year one get in.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
a 4-week event.
Exactly.
Listen, on the first night, we could have bands play the Roxy, the Whiskey, and different venues around LA and televise it in street. Larry, come on, help us out here.
Great
We got
idea.
this.
That's a great idea.
Thank you for your time. Thanks
Dude,
for
yeah.
coming in.
Thanks for
We're
having
really,
me.
really
Thank you.
stoked to see what you guys come up with at the Sphere. I mean,
Thank you.
this is going to be otherworldly, I hope.
Thank you.
Flying oranges.
It's gonna be-
I'm feeling there's going to be flying
Falling
oranges.
from the roof like
Falling.
the Apple's Wizard of Oz.
Yep.
There you
He's
go.
smiling there.
Oh,
He's like,
yes.
damn it.
Oh, my God.
They forecasted what we're doing.
We have cheered you guys on for so many years,
Yeah.
and we can't wait to do it at the Sphere. Congrats to you on the great
Thank you.
career, Tony, and the
Thank you.
guys, and Gwen. And
We really appreciate it. Your support for all these years. We don't take it for granted. We are really grateful. Thank you.
thank you, Tony.
No doubt about it. How about that pun?
That's pretty
Look at
good.
you.
Not bad.
Thanks.
That was good.